Morgan, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
It was my total pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's interesting, right? Because something like this, that script to screen journey really interests me when you have
Hmm.
something that has a lot of genres going on. So like what is that like for you reading this that has a lot kind of going on with the dark comedy, a little bit of kind of the horror component, the romance, and then kind of, reading it and then going into production and seeing it come to life on screen. What's that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was I loved this script. I thought it was so brilliant, and yeah, I think that's the question is like, are you going to be able to manage these tonal shifts, right? And
Exactly.
are the Nick and Andrew really have to carry this movie? Are they going to be able to bring all of those different tones into the performance? And are we going to be able to stay with these characters as they go through all these different things? And you don't really know the answer to that question. You sort of start to get inklings when you're on set, but you don't really know until you see a cut. And I remember seeing the first cut of this film and just being so impressed, especially with Brian and David, but also Nick and Andrew, like how everyone managed to sort of to really hit the tonal shifts of this film all the way through and land you in a place that's really kind of like moving. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's that script to screen journey was, it was perilous like they always are, but I think they really nailed it.
Absolutely. It's interesting because, it's all storytelling at the end of the day, but I'm just wondering, like, when you work on something like this compared to other past projects, I'm wondering, how separate are past projects and past journeys compared to something like this mindset preparation wise? Like, you look at this, you look at the Gilded Age, like, do you bring mindsets of preparations from past projects to something like this, or are they completely separate once you wrap them?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I think you're always bringing, you learn from everything you do, and so you're always bringing, what you learn with you onto the next project. I mean, I had to do a dialect. I had to speak another language in this project, so that's something that I have done before, and I have a kind of process for how I go about doing that. Um, and and so that I guess was something I brought with me. It's invaluable to work with a speaker and be able to listen to somebody who really who's not doing an accent but just talks a certain way. So you can both be learning the dialect but also training your ear and and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's this film is probably the most straightforward comedy that I've ever done, and so that was the thing that was really like fresh and exciting. And yeah, I think the thing you learn is that whether it's comedy or drama, it's like it's gotta feel real, right? It's got to be credible and stay grounded, and that's what makes any comedy or drama work.
And last question, you can answer this in general just with this project, but like I always find it interesting too, where it's like you see these screens on like the viewer sees these scenes and they're like 3 minutes of runtime, but there's a chance that those scenes might have taken you a whole day to film or a couple of days, so to speak. When
Always.
that happens, do they feel like mini movies or do they feel like part of an overall project? Those big scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I think those big set pieces will often define like your experience on a film. Like it makes you those are the things you remember, or those, and if you pull it off, those are the things you're proud of.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's funny. I mean, I think that's the weird thing about being an actor is that like the things that take 30 seconds, things that take a minute, things that have just like that land on an audience, in a fleeting moment as they pass. For you, that was a day or two of like lying in a pool of cold fake blood on a floor in a 40-degree Italian house. You know what I mean? Like there's and like all you remember is like, man, that sucked.
Yeah,
But it's
not
you
for
know, and then
long.
you get there and it's like, a shot or something like that. But that's something I'm used to at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the Gilded Age taught you a lot about that too. We'll get into that another day. But thank you so much for your time, man. Congratulations on the film. It was great chatting with you.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.